if you missed it last night, LSU baseball turned a page. It was not a repeat of Tuesday night.
Oh, we saw that coming a mile away.
Yeah, I mean, Lloyd called it yesterday. And somebody in the chat said as well, I don't remember exactly who it was. Somebody in the chat said it's
I think it was
Fonz.
Fonz Ferrelli, our guy.
It might have been. I was in the box last night. First time I got out there
You
this
dirty
year.
boy.
Alec box. I was at Alec box last night. First time going since the national championship season. I didn't make it out there last year. I didn't go to a game last year in the box.
That's disappointing.
But went there last night, check out the team. It was good to see. I'm sitting on the third baseline. Yeah, I seesawed at the playground. I was sitting on the third baseline, and I saw Bear Jones run out to third base, and I was like, whoa. What's happening? Because now I see Reeves at second, see Costello at first, and I got Bear sitting on third base. It was hilarious. But, I mean, he didn't get anything hit to him. I tell you what, when he was first out there.
Oh, they're not taking him out the lineup.
No.
He had two.
Freaking moon. The second one got lost in the night sky. It was a rocket shot.
Taco.
It was pretty impressive.
City. And then we were doing mic'd up last night because I'm not going to be surprised if Bear's about to start heating up here in a second because he's been hitting everything hard. Like they do the StatCast on LSU baseball data. Like where it's like everything's over like 110 miles an hour off the bat. He's just hitting everything right at people or like line drives down. He's going to start lifting some soon. And whenever they talk, I listen for LSU baseball because they know it. They see it differently than we do. And he was proven to be correct because Bear Jones leaps twice yesterday, both 2-run home runs, I believe. And that was a trouncing. That was definitely a Jay Johnson moment for like – whenever he's in the presser going, it's kind of a clunker, we're definitely going to learn from this. It's coachable. Like, don't want to be in that locker room.
Nope.
And they showed up, and it's like, if anything, you better give effort.
Yes.
And you saw, like, we were doing the show during the first inning. We did an entire hour, and LSU was still at the plate. I was like, are they still batting? Or is
they went through the lineup in the first inning.
It was an hour.
Yeah.
Of just
Creel
turned
batted
it over.
twice.
Yeah. It's like, yep, that seems about right. He could fold this thing up now.
Yeah. I think it was 7.
And poor North Dakota State.
Yeah, there was a couple of North Dakota State fans sitting kind of it looked like they were maybe family members sitting up. And, I mean, it's the 7. It's 7-0 after the first inning. And I was just like, yeah, I don't know how long. I mean, people started getting their stuff and heading back to their car because I mean, it was a little chilly last night. But I mean, it was 7-0 after 1. Obviously, North Dakota State steals a run in the I don't remember what inning it was, maybe the second or the third, off of a missed catch by the catcher. It was not a wild pitch. Not a wild pitch. It was a pass ball, if anything. It hit Hernandez's glove, didn't catch it, and I tell you what, it got the fans sitting around me riled up in whatever section I was in. I don't even remember. It was well, that's the same issue we had last night. Here we go again. About to give the game away because we can't catch a ball. I was like, oh, Lord have mercy. It's like it was one time.
It was in the second inning. LSU puts up a 7 spot, crooked number in the first, then gives up 1 run in the second.
And off of they're not wrong in that the ball should have been caught. It hit Hernandez's glove. He didn't catch it. He gets past him. They score a run. Okay. They score a run. 1 run in the second inning. And it was like, I tell you what, it opened a whole can of worms. Because obviously the people that I was sitting around were there sitting in the box on Tuesday night and watched the debacle where it's wild pitch, pass ball, wild pitch after, in repeat. And so they didn't want to see it again. So they were a little, on edge. Then they were upset about Stanfield getting picked off at first base.
Oh, God.
And that was before Bear Jones' first home run, I think. And it should have been a grand slam, but now it's only a 3-run shot because Stanfield got picked off because we want to run the bases. Like, they're still adjusting to this new brand of baseball that's being played. Because LSU over the last 2 seasons, Stanfield would have sat on first base. Nothing would have happened. Curiel would have got walked. Do what?
He wouldn't be on your team.
Right. 100%.
He's 2 for 3 yesterday and scored a run.
He turned over the lineup, did a great job. He since being placed in the 9 hole, he's done a spectacular job at
Tell me
turning
if
over
this
the
is
lineup.
a stretch to think that 8-9 spot, and I'll just focus on. You obviously see Tanner Reeves get another shot at playing because not playing he doesn't feel, and this is not me saying it. This is Jay Johnson saying it. Like, he's not the most comfortable at third base. He's a second baseman.
Right.
Like, you can see the way that he plays the infield, that's a different throw for him that he's still trying to adjust to, and he's rushing through everything infield-wise. But the guy hit 400 in a lower-level baseball, but still 400 is 400.
400.
Baseball, it don't change that much.
Right. Still around ball and around
to
bat.
have Stanfield at that 9-hole and him playing the way that he is, between him, like, Curiel's going to hit the wall at some point.
Right.
That's baseball's going to baseball. Like the same thing that you saw with Milam last year, the same thing you saw with Larson, where it wasn't great and then it was awesome, and same thing you saw with Braswell, where it wasn't great and then he got good.
Go back to Bears freshman season, where he was nonstop
as
lineup.
good as you can be, and then he started like scoreboard watching. He's like, "Oh shit, I'm batting 210."
Yeah.
Like now I'm not playing.
Yep. He's a freshman.
But that your Curiel's had incredibly good at bats, especially in the leadoff spot where he draws a walk in the first. You're like, oh yeah, this is exactly what you want to see. But having that at the top of the lineup and having Stanfield at the bottom to be able to turn that thing over, like this is the best version of LSU baseball that you can have. Like Daniel Dickinson does it again.
Right.
Larson ripped one to almost hit a homer. Pulled it foul to right, then hits a laser to left, and it was good to see him just to make contact.
It was right after Bears home run, too.
Yes, but he's been like kind of
shaky,
forcing it at the plate a little bit. I feel bad for him, absolutely. And then, obviously, you don't see BD behind the plate until you do.
Right.
And Luis Hernandez gets the start. But
they even got Priester in there. Priester he came in to catch for Dalton Beck. After Schmidt came out, they brought Beck in on the mound. His first appearance of the season.
Jacob Meyer sighting, Fondo sighting. Also, the real conversation that LSU needs to have, or at least the people that talk about LSU, William Schmidt's not long for this life. He's not a midweek starter.
No.
He is way too good.
If it wasn't for the fact that you have Anderson, Ianson, and Shores, he would be starting one of those 3 days.
Last year, he's a starter.
Last year, he is your Sunday guy.
Yep.
And there would probably have been a conversation at the start of the year before Jump really hit his stride and got in his groove for him to be the Friday or Saturday guy.
Yeah. I would say that Shores is on like the Gage Jump timeline.
Yes.
But you're loaded enough pitching-wise to where Schmidt doesn't have to be a weekend guy yet, but I would be hard-pressed to not see him come in. And you still – I haven't seen Gavin Guidry yet.
Yep, and you're not going to see him this weekend.
Whoa.
Jay said it in the presser last night.
Oh, God.
Not this weekend, hoping for next weekend. So Missouri is the SEC opening weekend in league play.
Is he going to start?
Weekend. There's no way.
A midweek. I wouldn't mind him being a midweek-ish and Schmidt moving to his.
Well, to me, I think the kind of the play right now, like Schmidt is kind of your backup Case and Evans in a sense, where it's
high leverage. But that's also your backup like Gavin Guidry. Like we put him in, and we talked about this with Jay Mitch, and he made like a good point. It's like it's tough to put a freshman in that spot, but he's so good to where like the way that they're handling him right now is what they did with Cade Anderson last year, but like at an elite level, where Cade never really got that opportunity until later in the year, but now they're putting Schmidt in that spot now, like get him starts, get him going, and then you saw him in Frisco in like high leverage spots, like come in and shut the door, like oh shit, like that's elite stuff to come in as a freshman and throw 97 in the seventh whenever you're up one
with all those eyes on the whole deal.
Right, like you could go back 1 year, I mean, you had the highest rated recruit to ever come to LSU, lefty, goes to Oklahoma,
right. Can't find the strike zone ever.
And you put him in every spot possible.
Right.
You put him in start of midweek. You put him in when you're up 8. You put him in high leverage, and nothing made a difference.
Right.
Schmidt seems to be cut from a different cloth.
Oh, my gosh, yes. I mean, it was impressive watching him work last night. He pitched 4 innings, Gave up 2 hits, 1 run, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts. He had 73 total pitches.
Yeah, you'll see him on the weekend.
And so you'll see him probably at some point this week. And the ERA was 1.46. At one point when he first got out there, and obviously the first inning, it's 3 up, 3 down. And the second inning, they show the ERA on the screen, and I just caught a peek at it, and it was 0.96. And I was like, it's not too shabby.
Yeah, 2 walks.
Pretty impressive.
Faced 14 guys. Oh no, faced 19 guys and had 7 strikeouts.
It's gonna play.
And they had North Dakota State shouldn't even got off the bus.
Yep, they had no chance. But I mean, especially for you go 3 up, 3 down. LSU does, or the LSU defense does in the first, and then they turn around, they score 7 runs. They turn the lineup over in the bottom of the first.
Their DH is batting 0.
North Dakota State's nice. Fonz says Guidry will probably come in and throw 1 to 2 innings this weekend. From what I saw, let me pull up John Eads' tweet here. Shout out to John Eads, obviously. Baseball coverage, once again, killing it. He got a clip of Jay Johnson talking about Gavin Guidry, and he says, let's see, let me get to the quote here. That's the video. Let me get the quote. Jay Johnson and Gavin Guidry. Won't see him this weekend, but hopefully next week, trying to keep him on track. A mid-body injury Gavin Guidry woke up with 2 Thursdays ago, is still recovering. Jay went on to say, I think we need him. He brings something different to the staff. We need to get him back.
And I'm not worried about it.
Which is why we're doing this right. There's no reason to stress on Guidry. But, yes, Fonz, the Mizzou weekend. That, to me, is the weekend that he'll come back in. And I think at this point, why not have him keep him as a closer? That's his role.
Not even closer. You have Cason Evans as a closer. You've made that. It's been very much seen.
Right.
That's Cason Evans' role. But the same role that I see for, Schmidt is vying for that role as a stopper.
Right.
Gavin Guidry was given a midseason award or preseason award.
Right.
I guess is how you should put it. As a top 50 stopper in the country, which I agree with. Because there's not many people I have more confidence in when you see him on the mound and things are going right than Gavin Guidry in a high leverage.
Right.
Against North Carolina last year, he comes in and you're
yeah.
Season wasn't even going great for him.
No, not at all.
And he comes in and you're kind of love him in the spot.
Of course.
And he shuts the door and fucking screams and kicks and you're oh, fuck, I'm all in with this guy. That's what he does.
Right.
He's any momentum that you think you have, here comes the fucking hammer, and I can throw it 92, 93 on the corner, and you don't have a shot.
Right.
You almost wills his way to pitch, getting you out. Schmidt feels that same way, not in the terms of, attitude, but just, the way, the demeanor,
yes.
in the sense, he's not going to have that yet, but because Gavin Guidry's a position player.
Right.
They're all a little bit different. Cason Evans, position player.
Yeah.
And, where I played shortstop, I was a top 15 shortstop out of Texas in high school, where I have a little bit of a different mentality as opposed to just, a pitcher where it's oh, it's not going great, get me out.
Right.
He's got, gamer. And he has solidified himself as the closer, whether that be Jay's call or him just being, being too good to ignore. And so that would have been Guidry's role, you thought, going into the year of the guy that, maybe you bring at the back end of, get me 6 outs, get me 3 outs. Cason Evans is doing that.
Yep.
So now Guidry has to find himself in a different role, but I do think it is still that stopper role.
Yes. It's not the starting spot. Now the midweek starter spot, I guess, would still be kind of up for grabs in a sense, but that's not going to best serve LSU baseball. What would be best for LSU is, like Lloyd said, a stopper role for Gavin Guidry,
and you kind of need him.
Yeah, no, I mean you still 100%.
You think that your pitching or deep as your pitching staff is, there's still a spot for him.
Well, I mean, what we talked about, you need 8 guys. Is that what it was? Was that the number? It was 8 pitchers that you need. You need to have 8 guys on your staff.
You think you have 10, you got 8.
Yeah, I still think Gavin Guidry's a part of that core 8 guys, that are important to the success of this team. As nice as it is to have added guys like Schmidt and Ware and Cowan and Evans and this list of names, Guidry is still in that group of he's going to be vital to LSU's success this season. So it would be nice to see him get back onto the diamond But that will not be this weekend against North Alabama. That will be hopefully next week for LSU, as next week they would take on Xavier and Missouri all at home. So we shall see what happens there. But all in all,
hold on, let's see what Missouri baseball is doing. People are getting upset left and right, but this has been pegged as a possible sweep scenario for LSU.
Okay.
I just want to see what their record is real quick.
Figure it out for us. But good win for LSU.
Sack tracker. I don't think that's what we're looking for. Schedule. They have wins. Full schedule. Jesus Christ, Missouri website. Get it going.
Yep.
6-6.
All right.
Not great, Bob.
They lost to Penn State.
They lost who went deep?
Paxton Kling.
Yep.
They lost to Stetson 9-7. They lost.
UCF is good.
Yeah, UCF solid as they ruled Florida.
They beat Southern.
Yeah, they beat Southern 15-3. They lost to Alabama State 10-2.
Lost to
Evansville
Aces. That sounds like a made-up baseball team. Yeah,
they lost to Evansville twice. It was a 4-game split.
And then they canceled a game
against Southeast Missouri. They face Binghamton this weekend.
Christ.
And then they'll head to Baton Rouge next week to take on the Tigers.
Yeah, you should sweep.
I would say this is I would agree that this is the series you sweep.
Starting off 3-0 in SEC play would be massive.
Huge, especially if you can continue to ride this wave and keep playing strong through this weekend and against Xavier. I mean, because if you go out and you sweep this weekend, and you beat Xavier, and you're on this winning streak since losing to Omaha on that Saturday morning, that'd be a strong resume going into.
Well, I'm just comparing it to last year, where you couldn't buy 3 wins in the SEC for the first month, and now you start off with, even 2 of 3, because don't get it twisted. Sweeping is not as nearly impossible to do in the SEC, even against a team like Missouri, because you saw what can happen against. This
Nebraska.
team has gotten behind against Nebraska. They had to go to extra innings.
Yeah, Kansas State.
Against Kansas State. They are down,
7-1.
7-1 against a team that has 1 win on the year. Baseball does that. So I'm not expecting to sweep from anybody at any point. But to take 2 of 3 would be an absolute feather in your cap to start SEC play. Then you go to Texas, which will be a phenomenal series. I don't know if they've seen them since 2009.
Like in a series? Because LSU played Texas last season. That was the Luke Holman game.
And not in a series, though, right?
It was just one game.
It was the Frisco thing.
Right, yeah. They haven't. I don't think they've seen Texas in a series.
They haven't had a 3-game set since they had a 3-game set.
Since it was a pretty good 3-game set. If you're an LSU fan. If you're a Texas fan, there's probably still a little. Because, and then a couple years ago, that was Dugas hit the big home run against Texas in that game. So, yeah, this is a like we said, it was nice to see LSU go out and perform the way they did last night, where it was just kind of shut everybody up. Because there was discourse on Twitter and social media, and these Tennessee fans are insufferable when it comes to LSU being down to North Dakota State. They went out, they took care of business.
They were in a. It was yesterday. No, 2 days ago, where it was a little bit close, and they hit 3 grand slams in the same
Tennessee.
baseball game for Tennessee.
Yeah, they were. I think it was 10-9 going into the 7th or the 8th, and then Tennessee rules them by grand slam after grand slam.
Yeah, they're a problem.
Yeah, no, they're very good. That, like I said the other day, there was one circle around LSU versus Tennessee's weekend before the season. You've probably added 3 or 4 circles around that series, because it's going to be unbelievable. That's one of those weekends that you just can't miss. If you're an LSU baseball fan and you're in the area, or even if you're not,
watchparty.com.
100%. It's going to be a special weekend. So we'll see what LSU can continue to do. They take on Xavier next week. They have North Alabama this weekend as they are they're on a little win streak. What would be the total now? You beat Omaha, then you get Nichols, Dallas Baptist. You win the 3-game set. Now you've won 2 more. So you're on an 8-game win streak if you're LSU. Knock on wood. Stay solid. Keep it rolling into this weekend. We're going to take a quick break.